a senior disciple of His Divine Grace went with to Prabhupada, and he asked him, of everything you have taught, what is the most important? And Srila Prabhupada quoted that verse from the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, Yasya devi para bhaktir yata devi tata guru tasyete katita yartaha prakashante mahatmanaha. The meaning of this, I'm going to read from a translation that Prabhupada gave in 1950s. Prabhupada says, the great souls who have implicit faith upon the Lord and the spiritual master simultaneously, unto them only all the imports of Vedic knowledge becomes automatically revealed. Now, this is a very important point, because we also see the next text. This was in Prabhupada's handwriting. After we finish the reading here, I will explain the context. This is from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 34. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadikshanti jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just approach the wise and bona fide spiritual master, surrender unto him first, and try to understand him by inquiries and service. Such wise spiritual master will enlighten you with transcendental knowledge, because he has already known the absolute truth. Now, why this is important? In 1972, I was in Vrindavan with Guru Das Prabhu. Guru Das was a senior disciple of His Divine Grace, and he had been requested by Srila Prabhupada to go to the Radha Damodar temple on the second floor, above Srila Prabhupada's room where he was translating and cooking. There were two other rooms on a roof of the Radha Damodar temple, and Srila Prabhupada had several big trunks there. And these trunks had many of Srila Prabhupada's personal belongings from his days in Allahabad and Jhansi, from the League of Devotees, and from the days of his pharmacy in Allahabad, in Prayag. Prabhupada told Guru Das to clean the trunks out, to get rid of all the things. So Guru Das had brought me over and asked me to help him. And those trunks had so many different glass bottles and so many medical things. Prabhupada said, throw them out. But then there was another trunk with all these different books and translations that Srila Prabhupada had given. There were numerous copies of Ishopanishad, the first one that was printed on the bamboo paper, numerous translations of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, numerous Sri Ishopanishad, so many different nectarian, so many pamphlets from the League of Devotees in Jhansi in Uttar Pradesh. So we separated those literatures, and then as Prabhupada desired, many of the other glass bottles and everything else we got rid of. And as part of this project that we were doing for Srila Prabhupada, there was one sheet where Prabhupada's own handwriting of this one verse, Sampradaya Vinaye Mantraste Nishphalamataha Yasya Devi Parabhaktir and Tad Vidhi Pranipatena. This was in Prabhupada's own handwriting. So this was quite a discovery. This was very special because we had never seen this before. So Guru Das handed it to me and said, you keep this, you can use it later, and we'll use the Ishopanishad and the Easier Journey to Other Planets and give it to other devotees. So recently, I was looking to some old boxes of documents. I found this and sent it to the Bhaktivedanta archives in North Carolina and requested, Ekanath Prabhu, do you have this? Is this something that you have? He says, no, we've never seen this. So he engaged one of the devotees there to make a proper English rendering of all of this, and this is going to be put in the archives. We're very happy that it's under control, in very safe hands. But it's very interesting when we see Srila Prabhupada's translation of that verse from Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada does not say they have seen the truth. He's not using it in plural. Although, from a Sanskrit grammatical perspective, upadikshanti is plural. But Srila Prabhupada chose to translate it in the singular. If we look at this, Prabhupada said, such wise spiritual master will enlighten you with transcendental knowledge because he has already known the absolute truth. Now this relates to the beginning of all these classes. We're reading from Prabhupada's diary. Somebody recently asked me, why is it that you and Vishwakarma are spending so much time reading from this diary? Because this is called Tadiya. This is related, transcendental paraphernalia related to the pure devotee. It is none different than his purports in Bhagavad Gita, because what it shows is the meticulous, detailed planning, the meticulous, detailed management of everything that Prabhupada did, whether it's noting the money spent on bus fare, whether Prabhupada is noting correspondence that he's sending out, correspondence and letters that he's getting, how he's engaging in book distribution, how he's approaching different bookstores, he's approaching different foundations, different personalities, keeping track of how many people are coming to Kirtan. Everything he was doing was documented. There was a record. Prabhupada was teaching future devotees, future followers and students, how to conduct our activities. In Los Angeles in 1968, Srila Prabhupada one time asked one devotee, what time is it? Do you have the time? And the devotees replied to Srila Prabhupada, oh, I don't know what time it is. I'm in bliss. Prabhupada told him, you're not in bliss, you're in Maya. Being a devotee means that you're Krishna conscious and you're also practical. You know what is going on around you. Not simply you're in bliss and forget everything else. This is a very important point. There's another conversation where a devotee was telling Srila Prabhupada about being transcendental, and Prabhupada interrupted, and Prabhupada says, you are not transcendental. You are trying to become transcendental. And this is a very important for any devotee who is engaged in sadhana bhakti, in regulated devotional service. One should never think that he has become liberated, that he has become very advanced, that he is on a level of Nikunjayuno or the sum total of all demigods. One should be very careful to guard himself against such thoughts. One should always remain, just like the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj, has expressed in the Chaitanya Charitamrita himself, that I am the most sinful person. If somebody hears my name, they lose all pious activities. If somebody recites my name, they commit sinful activities. I'm paraphrasing here. But this amazing humility of Krishnadas Kaviraj is the perfect example of conduct for any Vaishnava or aspiring Vaishnava. Very important point. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.